Thank you for coming today to the Veterans Day Parade. My name is Omar Deutle. I'm part of the Veterans Voices of Santa Clara County. And I'd like to again welcome you today to the event. I'd like to also go ahead and thank everybody here who is attending. And as we get settled in, I want to go ahead and start introducing our folks who are taking part of our event here. I want to go ahead and introduce our Mayor, Sam Liccardo, who's sitting here in the front, as well as Jim Bell, State Senator, Sergio Jimenez, Vice Barza, Johnny Camis, folks here from the Vice Mayor Kathy Watanabe, Sergio Jimenez, and Dave Cortesi, former Vice Mayor Rose Herrera, and Dave Cortesi, who is joining us here today. So let's go ahead and get started with our folks who want to go ahead and address our audience. So I'd like to go ahead and welcome Supervisor Dave Cortesi from Santa Clara County. Everybody, please give us a round of applause.
Well, thank you very much. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans first and foremost. There's going to be a lot more people speaking a little bit later when the parade program starts. But Mayor Liccardo and I are honored to be spokespersons for the All the Way Home campaign. And we want to speak a little bit to that right now, give you an update on the progress. And I'm very pleased to have one of my colleagues from the Board of Supervisors, Supervisor Ken Yeager, here as well. In our case, much like the city, it took our entire board to get behind this veterans housing campaign for the homeless veterans to make sure that we made the kind of progress that we're making. Of course, this year marks the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I, Armistice Day, which we now call Veterans Day. And it is very important to us to make sure that as veterans return home here to Santa Clara County after being deployed, that they have more than a roof over their head. They have a roof over their head, and they also have the quality of life that we all expect for ourselves and our families. 3 years ago, Mayor Liccardo and I stood before you to launch the All the Way Home campaign to end veterans homelessness in Santa Clara County. And we created a partnership between the County of Santa Clara, the City of San Jose, the Santa Clara County Housing Authority, and an organization called Destination Home, which helps keep us all together. Additional key partners, of course, would include the VA, but also Goodwill Silicon Valley, Home First, and Veteran Resources Center. Our county has stood behind our pledge, and we've committed to local funding to support our veterans, including funding landlord incentives, furniture, welcome home kits, again, so that our veterans don't feel like we've just given them four walls and a roof, but an actual home. And we've worked with landlords and apartment owners to increase access to rental units for homeless veterans and their families. When we started, there were 703 homeless veterans and over 260 veterans with vouchers who could pay rent, couldn't find someone to rent to them. We also knew from the VA that we could expect 550 new homeless veterans every year, and they were right about that. Today we've housed over 1,200 veterans over the last 3 years. I think that deserves a round of applause. And again, thank you particularly to Mayor Liccardo and the City of San Jose and my colleagues on the Board of Supervisors who have worked so hard and agreed to fund this effort. We have recruited over 700 landlords and engaged 24 faith-based organizations to help with this effort. And because of this, we've committed to extend the All the Way Home campaign 2 more years to ensure we have a system that ensures that veteran homelessness is rare, brief, and at some point non-recurring. Last plug I want to make is if you're a landlord and you've got a home to rent or a room to rent, we need you. And we appreciate the media's steadfast effort to help us get the word out. Many people have come to us and said, I don't know how to do this, but I want to participate. And we attribute that to all of the efforts to get the word out. Thank you very much. And I'd like to turn it over to the Mayor of San Jose, our mayor, Sam Liccardo, who's just been a tremendous partner in this effort over the years. Mayor Liccardo?
Thank you. Thank you, Supervisor Dave Cortese. Thank you for your commitment and thank you for your leadership on this effort. This has been an incredible collaboration. The city, the county, the housing authority, with Destination Home really leading the effort to keep us all aligned. We're here to say not that this is mission accomplished, but rather that we're making substantial progress because of the incredible engagement of our community. I think Supervisor Cortese said it so well, 740 new landlords that are all reaching out with us, 24 faith-based organizations. We'd love to continue to grow these numbers because we know we won't end veterans homelessness without everybody in the community participating in this important effort. So 1,237 veterans housed is a very important statistic. But the most important statistic will be that when we finally reach our goal, and the number will be 0. We want to end veterans homelessness in Santa Clara County, and we're committed to keep pushing until we get there. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you to Mayor Sam Liccardo. Now I'd like to go ahead and introduce Nelly Amas, who is currently one of the landlords that has helped out in assisting with veterans housing. Everybody please welcome Nelly Amas.
Thank you, Omar. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. First, I would like to thank God for allowing this opportunity. Through Him, all things are possible. A very special thanks to the veterans and their family, and to those who made the ultimate sacrifices for our freedom today. I want to say a very special thanks to Mayor Sam Liccardo and Supervisor Dave Cortese, and all the way home, Maya, you're awesome. You're awesome. I have been a resident of this amazing city for so many years now. I can safely say I never thought I would be standing here and receiving this great understanding and speaking before you today. I am pleased and honored and humbled to be one of the landlords who make a difference in the life of veterans. I have faced several challenges on my way here, but each of them has strengthened me to make me the person that I am today. I am with true professional and achievement of what I wanted to do has led me to focus more and determined to help the homeless veterans in Santa Clara County. In the past 27 years, I have been successfully dedicated my life to providing care and residency for homelessness of Santa Clara County who thrive and struggle with mental illness. This has been a struggle in Santa Clara County. But through perseverance and help through Santa Clara County Supervisor Dave Cortese, we've been able to house a lot of mental health residents in this community. I retired in 2014 when Mayor Sam Liccardo and Maya came to Cathedral of Faith and spoke to everyone's heart. On that day, I know that the Lord has sent me to come and take care of the homeless housing. Today, I have successfully housed 46 homeless veterans in my property. I am also committed to using my new development, which is coming up, 218 units, to at least give half of it to the homeless veterans in this community. The Word of God says in 1 Peter 3:13, who will hurt you if you are passionate about doing good? My experiences and strong organization presence and my life focuses on helping and on doing good for the community supersede my own personal being. I look forward to working with Mayor Sam Mercado all the way home and Supervisor Dave Cortez to work and take care of the veterans' housing. I thank you for all you do for this country, and I am honored to be one of your people. God bless you.
Wow, that's truly inspiring. Nelly, thank you very much again for all you do.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank everybody that came out this morning to support our veterans. I know myself and others feel like we just stand on the shoulders of giants. We're just very thankful to be this generation to pick up the flag and move the ball down the field. Our pilot today is Captain Coda Brown. Our co-pilot is Lieutenant Josh Everett. Our special mission aviators are Austin Helwig and Brian Colucci. They're all members, like myself, of the 129th Rescue Wing. Colonel Taftaharo and Chief Stokes are here representing our leadership, that are our leadership. And we try to be the premier combat search and rescue National Guard unit in the United States. We do all weather, day, night rescues and civilian searches. We do fires, hurricanes, mudslides, and of course overseas operations. What we'll be flying over today is we'll be coming out of the southeast and leaving over out the northwest. Will be a HH-60 helicopter. It's the Air Force version of the Black Hawk. We do have mid-air refueling capabilities. Normally flies with a crew of 4, and in combat we fly with a crew of 7 people. It has 4 hours of fuel on board, and we also have mid-air refueling capabilities. We normally cruise at right around 100 knots. That's about 120 miles an hour for civilians. And let's just have our 129th leadership stand up. Let's thank them for their service and their family members that are also here, because they also do serve. I have 2 minutes, and being Irish, I'm going to tell a story. So real quickly, I got to tell a story about what I'm thankful about today on Veterans Day. And it's last year, Hurricane Harvey, we were going down to Texas to do some hurricane support to save some people in the floods that they had there. I got a 12-hour notice to leave town, and I had a 1-week-old child. And for the next week, I was out of town down in Texas. And I want to tell you that my wife didn't have to cook a meal for the whole week. She didn't have to pick up any kids at daycare. She didn't have to drop off any kids. Every single member of my neighborhood stepped up, and family stepped up, and that's what I'm thankful for today. So for all those civilians that have stepped up in the past and will step up in the future, I'd like to thank you for that service today.
He's supposed to hover over us a little bit, I think. That's an HH-60 from the 129th Rescue Wing. They do everything from going out to sea to rescue people.
That was Captain Coda Brown and Lieutenant Jason Everett.
Thank you, Major. Back to the program, I think. Are you ready, Gene? Where are you? You're behind me. You ready? I guess we're ready. First off, we have the presentation of the colors by the Honor Guard of District 13 from the Department of American Legion. Go ahead, guys. Forward march. Or advance the colors, as Gene likes to say. Forward march to me. And respect and salute the colors as necessary. Emily Macias is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Little change in the program. Go ahead, Emily. Emily is from troop number 6330.
Alrighty, please join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Angela, front and center.
My name is Angela Tirado, the voice of San Jose. It's my pleasure to be here today to honor all our veterans. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the and the home of the
Thank you, Angela. Right now, I'd like to introduce former mayor, vice mayor, oops. Oh, go ahead, guys. That sounds like a military command. Go ahead. I'd like to introduce, knock it off, Gene. I'd like to introduce at this time former Vice Mayor Rose Herrera, who will introduce our imam and our invocation specialist.
Thank you, Dave. Happy Veterans Day, everyone. I have the distinct privilege today of introducing our invocator. His name is Dr. Muhammad Khalid Siddiqui. He is a professor at 3 colleges, Mission College, Ohlone College, and Chabot College. And he is also a chaplain for the VA Palo Alto healthcare system. We're so honored to have him here today to do our invocation for the 100th anniversary of World War I Armistice and Veterans Day Parade. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Siddiqui. Woo!
Hello, good morning. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you. All praise be to God, the Lord of the universe, most compassionate, most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee alone do we worship. Thee alone do we seek for help. Guide us to the straight path, path of those whom you have favored, not the path of those who went astray or in your anger. Amen. O God, you know that we have come together today as one universal human society. We gathered together with your love in our hearts to strengthen our relationship with mutual compassion and mercifulness. Guide us to continue our struggle to establish the perfect justice, to attain global peace, and to stop wars. We are here to remember the veterans of World War I and to value their sacrifices and to protect the life of coming generations by learning and teaching each other to see the beauty in diversity. Muslims from subcontinent, Middle East and Africa were of the people who were at the front lines at World War I, and offered their most precious possessions, their lives, to defend the humanity, and were very seldom mentioned. We mention all the veterans and we value all their services. And there are many whose stories were untold, but we need to include them in our narratives in order to eliminate hate speech, racism, and discrimination. The Jews, Christians, and Muslims had many forgotten heroes who defended the humanity alongside with other nationalities. They fought together. They were killed side by side and buried side by side. Muslims like Khudadad Khan and all the others, including American veterans and all the other veterans, were often at that struggle, giving the sacrifice of their life so we can enjoy the freedom. The time does not allow to go into their detailed stories, but I beg to submit my final thought to be taken as one of the lessons of World War I, that we must not lose the momentum. We owe to 27 to 38 million lives to do everything in our power to stop wars by fighting hatred, injustice, racism, and discrimination. We must be among those who believe that we are one universal human society. We have by far much more in common to celebrate than fight each other. We are the children of our first parents, Adam and Eve, and we are siblings in humanity. We must see the beauty in diversity. Thank you, and peace be with you.
Thank you very much, Iman Sadi. Right now, I'd like to make some introductions and a couple shout-outs here. I'd like to make a shout-out to Sarge Carbaugh, who's not with us anymore. We lost him a couple years ago. Also to some other people we've lost over the years. Sergeant Richard Murphy is gone. This is not a one-man show. It's far from a five-man show. It's about a 35-people show with the United Veterans Council. Gene has been doing this for 30 years. Woo! I've been doing it for about 30, and Randy Richmond over there has been doing it for another 30, starting out as a staging. Most of the politicians here have been doing it for a long time, and we really welcome them too. It's great to see them. And I'm being told, I don't see the buses yet, Gene. What the hell? Ooh, they're sitting there. I gotta cut this short now. Anyway, that's it for my shout outs. Gene's been doing this for 30 years, and without Gene, there would be no parade. Real quick. Now, the guy that's driving the Grand Marshal today is Fran McVeigh. He's our president this year, but he likes to play with the cars and make sure everything's perfect down there. So he stays down there and makes sure everything's in order. And I'm going to take one more minute. Where's our vice president? Okay, hi. Anyway, he's going to accept the awards and stuff. I'm going to give it to you, Gene, for the Grand Marshal. Don't shake your head. 30 years of shaking heads.
Good morning, everyone. Today, our Grand Marshal is General Garrett S. Yee of the United States Army. Major General Yee serves as a Director of Operations and Architecture and the Acting Director of Cybersecurity and Information Assurance at the headquarters at the Pentagon for the Department of the Army. Major Garrett, I'll let you speak now. Thank you. Is this not working? Yeah, okay, I'll just use this. Hey, before I get started, is this working? All right, now, how's this? There we go, all right. Hey, just before I get started, just want to just take a moment and, just let us think about all those that are currently, evacuated out of Paradise. Over 2,000 structures destroyed, 52,000 California residents evacuating that area. So just before I get started, just a moment of silence to think about those folks right now. Okay, thanks. All right, so in 1918, America had great hope that the war that just ended would be her last. That henceforth, America's sons and daughters would have to fight no more. 100 years later, we gather here today to honor all those that have served and defended our nation. And in that 100 years, yes, we've been at war several times. It didn't end in 1918. Today, the Army has over 170,000 soldiers serving in 140 countries around the world, defending our freedoms and our interests. And it's events like this, like today, that help us remember and say thank you for those that have served and sacrificed. And today is particularly special since it's the 100th anniversary of the Armistice that ended the war to end all wars, World War I. And so I want to acknowledge, okay, let's clap about that, all right. I do want to say thanks to the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara for organizing this event year after year for the past so many years. It's important. And the many partners, supporters, and participants that are not here today because they're out doing the work to make this thing happen. The car clubs, the cities, the counties, transportation authorities, etc., and the foundations. I do want to acknowledge, though, some of the dignitaries that are here today. Mayor Sam Liccardo, and San Jose City Council, and the San Jose City Council. Thanks for hosting it in the city of San Jose. I know we're supposed to have Representative Lofgren here today. I'm not sure. Thank you, ma'am. Without a Congress, we wouldn't have a military, and so very important role. Absolutely, and we are thankful for the support that we get. At the state level, Senator Bell, Assembly Member Chu, and Colorado, great to see you three again, longtime friends, and the Board of Supervisors, Ken Yeager and Dave Cortese. Dave, good to see you. Neighboring City Council, I know Santa Clara, Los Gatos, Sporting Hill has representatives here as well, so we do appreciate, from a military standpoint, the broad support in the community for events like this, but more importantly, our veterans themselves. So if you read the newspaper article, I'm from San Jose, so it's good to be back. Now, I don't live in San Jose today. I was born down the street on Santa Clara Street at the San Jose Hospital, which was like taken down a couple years ago. You know, we attended Wesley Methodist Church growing up, attended Sunday school where my parents met and married, and I attended Santa Clara University down the street, down the Alameda, and my parents and our daughter went to San Jose State, so it's nice to be back in this area. Hey, so how many veterans do we have here? Raise your hand. Any veterans out here today? Yeah, like most of you should. So, yeah, let's clap for them. So you couldn't have a Veterans Day event without veterans, right? And so a number of World War II veterans are here, from the Merchant Marines, the Air Corps, the Navy, the Army, and the Marines. And I even met a few Pearl Harbor survivors this morning. I think they're sitting back here in the audience somewhere. There's two of them back here. And there we go. Give them a hand. There's a 96-year-old, a 99-year-old, a 100-year-old. I mean, my goodness, you guys are still kicking. That's awesome. I hope, you know, I don't know if I hope to get to that age, but doggone, that's pretty impressive. All right. I know we have some Korean War veterans here today as well. So thank you for your service, Korean War veterans. All right. And I saw a few from Vietnam. Where are you at, Vietnam? All right. And one in particular, sitting to my left over here, Major General Ken Hillhouse, has a Silver Star, Purple Heart, and he was my boss like 20-something years ago. So it's great to see you. You're looking great as always. I'm not going to guess your age, but let me tell you what. I hope doing what you're doing at the age you're at, sir. I know we have a bunch from Panama, Grenada, the Gulf War, Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, and those that served in between during the Cold War. And so thank you all, veterans. Let's give them all a hand. I would say thank you not only to those that have served, but to their families as well, for they serve as well. I know we have a number of Blue Star families here today, right? Blue Star families. And we have possibly some Gold Star families here today, all right? I see. Thank you. And those Gold Star families are those that have lost a loved one in service and they made the ultimate sacrifice. You know, the population of veterans continues to grow, and we must ensure that their service and sacrifice is never overlooked or forgotten. You know, America's treatment of returning Vietnam veterans was a low point in our history in the treatment of veterans. But since then, the tide has changed, and so we are thankful for the support we get, especially in communities like Santa Clara County, where there are a lot of support and services for veterans. In the Army, we believe that every soldier is a soldier for life and is committed to supporting our veterans with opportunities of employment and education. And some of you may know this, that less than 1% of Americans choose to serve in the military, and 78% of soldiers come from families that have already served. So it's a family business in some cases. And we now have the largest population of young veterans since the Vietnam War. Approximately 160,000 soldiers transition out of the Army each year. That's just the Army, not counting the Air Force, Marines, Navy, Coast Guard. So it's a lot of veterans transition every single year. And future service members look to see how we take care of those transitioning service members. And when they get treated well, like they do here in Santa Clara County, that's encouraging for them to join. Our ability to man an all-volunteer force of the future depends upon our support of Army's veterans, of today's veterans. I'm gonna wait for that plane to go past me just a bit. Another flyover, the second flyover, good job. All our veterans, not just those that have served in the Army, help connect the public to the military and inspire the next generation to serve. So I know this community here in San Jose and Santa Clara County does everything possible to help to ensure they get the support they need. So Mayor, County Board of Supervisors, thanks so much. Okay, clap. All right. I'm getting close here. So, every veteran at one time took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States. I know many of you veterans are out there in the audience today, and you remember that. It was kind of a blind check you wrote when you took that oath. And when they took that oath, it wasn't to a person or to a president or to a king. It was to an idea. And that idea was that all men and women are created equal. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Buddhist, straight or gay. All people are created equal. And that's the oath they took. Our military represents the best our nation has to offer. We have the world's best Army, the world's best Navy, the world's best Air Force, the world's best Marines, and the world's best Coast Guard. Yeah, go ahead, clap. All the services. They are the heart and soul and the spirit of the greatest nation on this planet. They carry the proud legacy and traditions of all our nation's veterans who have, throughout our history, kept us free. And today we say thanks to them all. Thank you for inviting me here today. I'm honored to share this special day with you all. Thank you. Thank you, General. Well, we're going to give you a little something here for your showing up on time and everything. Show up. All right, awesome. So this is presented to Major General Garrett S. Yee, the Pentagon, Washington, D.C., Grand Marshal, Veterans Day Parade, November 11, 2018, United Veterans Council. Thank you, General. The Girl Scouts want to present you one small gift.
On behalf of the Girl Scouts of Northern California, we thank you for your service and your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
I guess now we're going to do the presentations of proclamations and resolutions. Colonel Finch, would you like to come up here and receive them? I'm used to calling them Warren, so this is really hard. Colonel Finch. He gives it to me, trust me.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here with all of you, remembering and honoring our veterans. You know, this is the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I. And part of the challenge we face as human beings is to how to not forget the lessons of those who went before us. I actually met only one person who served in World War I. He lived across the street from me, Shorty Collins. He volunteered to go to fight in Europe, and he was so appalled by what he saw. He came back, he became a Baptist minister, and dedicated the rest of his life to supporting peace. And so as we think about what our veterans have been through, they know more than anyone else how important it is to pursue peace, be ready to defend our country, but to pursue peace. In the Constitution, it says, in order to pursue a more perfect union, to instill justice, to ensure the provide for the domestic defense, to ensure domestic tranquility, and to secure the blessings of liberty, the Constitution is adopted. As we've heard, every member of the armed services takes an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States that gives us the freedom that we enjoy. And so I would like to thank all of those veterans from World War I on who have supported the Constitution, who have pursued peace, and who have defended us. We have to present today something that was placed in the congressional record by me, Congresswoman Lofgren, on behalf of Congresswomen Anna Eshoo, Congressman Ro Khanna, and Congressman Jimmy Panetta, honoring this day and honoring all veterans. I would like to present it now and thank you for being together here in San Jose to give thanks to our veterans. God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America.
Next, we'll have Senator Bell. I've already pushed him into Congress.
Thank you to the United Veterans Council and the Veterans Parade. As we heard, it's the 100th anniversary of the ending of World War I. And I am a grandchild of a World War I veteran. My grandfather was a career Army captain in the Army and in Europe in World War I. He served in the Army for 2 decades, lived in Los Gatos, and his son, my father, was a World War II veteran and airborne in World War II. So we talked about World War I, and my grandfather said the day that the war ended, they were dealing with not only the wounded and getting people into help, but also the flu that happened right after World War I as it came through the Army barracks and the camps and back into the United States. The state government that I represent as the state senator from San Jose is very pleased to announce the passage of Proposition 1 and 2, which provides $6 billion for housing, including $1 billion for our CalVet Home Loan Program. $1 billion. So the CalVet Home Loan Program will have money for veterans seeking to purchase homes or small farms, as well as money from the Proposition 1, which I happen to be the author of, Proposition 1, and Proposition 2 to fund over 80,000 housing units, including 30,000 housing units for homeless. We have about 15,000 homeless veterans in California, and this money will be used to fund homeless programs for our veterans. So we're very pleased to announce the passage of the 2 propositions. On behalf of Governor Brown and Lieutenant Governor and Governor-elect Gavin Newsom, we're very excited about this and intend to see a lot of projects in cooperation with Mayor Liccardo and Supervisor Cortese, where the state can participate in the funding of those projects. And I hope to see many of those projects completed in my community in San Jose. So on behalf of our veterans, we're going to continue to work on these issues. And I'm pleased to present this resolution from the California Senate for the United Veterans Council in honor of the 100th anniversary of our ending of World War I. Thank you.
Well, happy Veterans Day, everyone, and it's such an honor to be here with my colleague, Assemblymember Kansan Chu. I'm Assemblymember Ash Kalla, representing about half of San Jose, including where we are right now, Assembly District 27, and prior to that on the City Council. And I just want to say how grateful I am to live in a community where we speak with one voice, particularly as it applies to supporting our veterans. And Senator Bell just referred to the $1 billion that, thanks to Senator Bell's leadership, certainly support from myself and Assemblymember Chu and others in our local delegation to ensure that we bring resources to our city and county. And hearing earlier from our Mayor, Sam Liccardo, as well as Supervisor Dave Cortese, we know that that money is going to be put to very good use here locally to help our veterans, because it's unconscionable that we have such a disproportionate number of our homeless that are veterans. It's every one of us has an obligation and responsibility to solve that problem. And so I'm so grateful to be able to do what I can to certainly help our veterans. And as that sign says, not just today, but every single day, they want to thank our veterans. We don't do that just by saying thank you. We do it through our actions. And so I'm so grateful to the service and sacrifice of our veterans and their families in serving our nation and protecting us. And even when they oftentimes leave the service, they continue to serve in many other ways in our community. And so for that, I'm very grateful. I have a resolution here, not just on behalf of myself, but on behalf of the entire delegation, including Assembly Members Kansan Shu, Mark Berman, Evan Lowe, and Mark Stone, just to thank our veterans. And so I'll pass the mic over to my friend and colleague, Assembly Member Kansan Shu, before we present this to the Colonel.
Thank you very much. My name is Kansan Chu. I represent North San Jose, City of Milpitas, City of Santa Clara, City of Newark, and part of Fremont. It's really an honor to be with all of you this morning. I just wanted to express my heartfelt appreciation to all the veterans, family members, and loved ones and friends, and also a salute to those people who are still in uniform and serve us in the harm's way. Thank you very much for having me here.
Good morning. I'm County Supervisor Ken Yeager and joined by County Supervisor Dave Cortese. We are both here to present a commendation to the United Veterans Council of Santa Clara County, and certainly to express our appreciation to all those that have served our country and to the families and loved ones of those service members. Supervisor Cortese and the mayor talked a little bit about the homeless program we have for veterans and the housing that we're doing, and he'll say a few words more about that. I just wanted to make sure that all of our veterans knew that the county has a Veteran Services Office. Oftentimes it can be a little difficult to get through to the VA, but we have a fully staffed Veteran Services Office that can help the veterans with a lot of the questions or concerns that they may have, and to offer help and assistance not only with housing, but with employment or mental health services as well. Should also mention that the county has a program along with its minority-owned business program to help veteran-owned businesses. We have a large procurement office. We give out over $3 billion a year in contracts and want to make sure that our veterans who are so well trained in so many different areas have the opportunity to get employment or to apply for jobs at the county. Our Veterans Services Office is governed by a Veteran Services Commission. I was proud to appoint David Sanders to that commission, and that commission oversees, again, the work of the office as well as reports to the County Board of Supervisors. So on this 100th anniversary of Armistice Day, on behalf of the County Board of Supervisors, we have this commendation, but a few words first from Supervisor Cortese.
Well, I think Supervisor Yeager said it quite well, and I'd like to give him a round of applause at the end of 12 distinguished years as a member of the Santa Clara County Board of Supervisors. So, Supervisor. And with that, God bless America.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Sam Liccardo. I'm honored to serve you as your mayor, and I'm here with Councilmember Sergio Jimenez and Councilmember Johnny Camus, and we are united as a council in presenting accommodation to the United Veterans of Santa Clara County, and I really want to thank Fran McVeigh and Colonel Finch and Dave and Jean and Vice Mayor Herrera and everyone who worked so hard to make this very important event happen. We are thrilled to be here at the 100th celebration of Veterans Day, in collaboration, working with the county and many other partners to end veterans homelessness here in Santa Clara County. And I look forward to the day when we stand before you to say we have ended veterans homelessness very soon, I hope. I also want to acknowledge especially the veterans here from World War II. What a true honor it is, and I'm so appreciative to have our veterans from World War II. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. And finally, to General Yi, welcome home. Good to have you, General. I finally just wanted to say, as I pass the mic along to my colleagues, to our veterans, I have a very simple request, that you continue to remind us, through your past confrontation with war, through your sacrifice, through your woundedness, through your resilience, may you continue to remind us to be vigilant of our freedoms and ever more committed to the imperative of peace. Thank you all, veterans. And I'll now ask Councilmember Camus, in minutes, if they'd like to say a word.
I'd just like to say the mayor said it very well. I just want to thank you very publicly for your service. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And my name is Johnny Camus. I was delighted to become the liaison to our veterans after Mayor Sam appointed me after the departure of our Vice Mayor, Rose Herrera. I just want to thank the group who put this event on together. I don't think you understand the amount of work it takes to get such a huge project off the ground. I want to give a big hand to all of our volunteers and who came out here today. Thank you.